Good evening, dear listeners. This is Voicecast coming to you live with a story that has shaken the very foundations of our understanding of the universe. A story that, quite literally, reaches beyond the stars. Today, we delve into humanity's greatest mystery. A message from beyond. Yes, you heard that right. Aliens are trying to talk to us. 3 weeks ago, something extraordinary happened. An event that has shaken the very foundation of humanity's understanding of the universe. Deep in the cosmos, far beyond our solar system, a signal was detected. At first, it seemed like just another blip, a common anomaly that astronomers encounter while scanning the vastness of space. But this was different. The signal wasn't random, and it wasn't natural. It was deliberate. The discovery began when astronomers, at name of Observatory, noticed an unusual pattern in the data coming from a distant star system located approximately X light years away. What caught their attention was the structure of the signal, a sequence of prime numbers repeated in precise intervals. Prime numbers, indivisible by any number except one and themselves, are considered a universal constant in mathematics. No known natural phenomenon produces such patterns. It was clear this was not a random cosmic occurrence. This was a message. The revelation sent shockwaves across the globe. News outlets, social media, and governments scrambled to understand the implications of this discovery. Was this the proof humanity had been seeking for centuries? The answer to the age-old question, are we alone in the universe? And if the answer was no, what did these beings want? As the signal continued to pulse across the vast emptiness of space, humanity responded with a mix of excitement, confusion, and fear. Some viewed it as a monumental breakthrough, a moment that would redefine our understanding of existence. Others feared the unknown, questioning whether this contact could pose a threat to Earth. Speculation was rampant, but one thing was undeniable. The message was intentional, and someone or something was trying to reach us. Amid the scientific analysis, reports began to emerge from people claiming to have experienced strange phenomena coinciding with the signal's detection. In a small farming village, a man described waking up from a dream unlike any he'd ever had. He saw patterns, glowing, intricate shapes floating in his mind's eye. Across the ocean, a teacher reported hearing a melody in her head, so vivid and haunting that she couldn't shake it for days. In cities and towns worldwide, similar accounts surfaced. Visions of geometric forms, unexplainable auditory sensations, and even fleeting feelings of connection with an unseen presence. These experiences, initially dismissed as coincidences or psychological responses to the media frenzy, soon caught the attention of researchers. Remarkably, many of the descriptions shared striking similarities. The geometric patterns described by the farmer matched drawings made by a child who had never heard of the signal, but claimed to have seen these shapes in the sky. The haunting melody, reported by the teacher, bore an uncanny resemblance to harmonic sequences embedded in the signal itself. It was as if the message wasn't just being transmitted through space, but directly into the minds of people around the globe. Scientists, linguists, and cryptographers quickly formed task forces to decode the signal. Using advanced AI algorithms, they began analyzing its structure. Early findings suggested a complexity far beyond anything humanity had ever encountered. The signal appeared to combine mathematical precision with elements of what could only be described as artistry. It wasn't just data. It was a multi-layered message, crafted with intent and intelligence. As the scientific community worked tirelessly to unravel the mystery, the broader implications of the signal were hotly debated. Philosophers questioned what this meant for humanity's place in the cosmos. Were we just one of countless civilizations scattered across the stars? Or was this contact an extraordinary, once-in-a-lifetime event? Religious leaders offered their interpretations, with some proclaiming the signal a divine message and others warning of potential apocalyptic consequences. Meanwhile, artists and creatives began incorporating elements of the signal into their work. Musicians composed pieces inspired by its harmonic sequences. Painters created vivid depictions of the geometric patterns. Writers speculated on the nature of the beings behind the message. Across all mediums, the signal became a source of inspiration, a bridge between the scientific and the spiritual. But the central question remained: what did the message mean? Was it a greeting, an invitation, a warning, or something entirely beyond human comprehension? Each breakthrough in decoding the signal seemed to reveal only more layers of complexity. Some scientists speculated that the message might be deliberately ambiguous, crafted to challenge our intellect and encourage collaboration. International efforts to decode the message intensified. Rival nations set aside their differences to work together, pooling resources and knowledge in a race against time. Yet, tensions also simmered beneath the surface. Some governments viewed the signal with suspicion, advocating for secrecy and caution. Others pushed for transparency, emphasizing the need for a unified global response. As humanity grappled with these questions, the signal remained constant, a pulsating reminder of our place in the universe. It was a symbol of hope, a challenge to our ingenuity, and a profound mystery all at once. The message was clear. They were trying to talk to us. The question now was, what were they saying? The signal, now universally acknowledged as an intentional message, has sparked intense debate among scientists, linguists, and philosophers. Yet beyond the signal itself, a fascinating array of phenomena has emerged, suggesting that the aliens are not relying on a single method of communication. Instead, their approach seems multifaceted, as though they are probing every avenue to ensure their message is received. One of the most astonishing developments is the growing number of reports suggesting telepathic experiences. Individuals across the globe describe vivid dreams, shared thoughts, or sudden emotions that feel entirely foreign. What's remarkable is the consistency in these accounts. In rural Brazil, a woman reported experiencing a dream so vivid that she could recall every detail for weeks. In her dream, glowing symbols hovered before her, pulsating in sync with an ethereal hum. She felt an overwhelming sense of calm, coupled with an inexplicable urgency to understand. Thousands of miles away in Tokyo, a software engineer described a similar experience, where shapes and sounds blended into what he called a language without words. The sheer number of such incidents led neuroscientists to investigate. Preliminary studies reveal unusual neural activity among those who claim to have experienced these telepathic messages. Brain scans show heightened synchronization between regions associated with emotion and pattern recognition, suggesting that these individuals might be processing something fundamentally new. But why telepathy? It may be that the aliens, recognizing the limitations of language, chose to communicate directly with our consciousness. After all, thoughts and emotions are universal, transcending the barriers of spoken words. Yet the question lingers, are these experiences intentional transmissions, or are we merely interpreting unrelated phenomena through the lens of the signal? Another method that has captivated scientists and the public alike is the appearance of strange geometric patterns. These symbols, often described as intricate and otherworldly, have been reported in various locations, etched into fields, appearing in the skies, and even forming on the surfaces of bodies of water. One of the most famous incidents occurred in England, where a sprawling field of wheat was found flattened overnight into a design so precise that it defied explanation. The pattern, when analyzed, bore a striking resemblance to mathematical constructs found in the signal. Similar occurrences were documented in India, where fishermen reported glowing patterns forming briefly on the surface of a calm lake before vanishing without a trace. Could these symbols be a visual representation of the message? If so, their complexity raises questions about their intended audience. Are they meant for us, or are we simply observing a byproduct of an alien communication method designed for beings far more advanced? Linguists have compared these symbols to ancient human languages, drawing parallels with hieroglyphics and cuneiform. While no definitive connection has been found, the effort underscores humanity's drive to decode meaning from visual cues. It's a reminder of our own history of using symbols to bridge gaps in understanding, a history that may now be repeating on an interstellar scale. Perhaps the most directly measurable form of alien communication comes in the form of sound waves. High-frequency signals, far beyond the range of human hearing, have been detected in conjunction with the cosmic message. These waves, while inaudible, have profound physical effects. In one instance, residents of a small town in Canada reported feeling an inexplicable vibration that seemed to emanate from the ground. Further investigation revealed that the vibration coincided with a spike in high-frequency signals captured by nearby monitoring stations. The signals caused disruptions in electronic devices, with radios emitting static bursts and cell phones temporarily losing functionality. Acoustic scientists have analyzed these waves and discovered patterns within patterns, suggesting a layered message. Some speculate that these sound waves might be a form of auditory communication, akin to the way humans use music to convey emotion and meaning. Others believe they could be a mechanism to draw attention, akin to a lighthouse beacon cutting through the darkness. Yet the physiological effects of these waves cannot be ignored. Some individuals report dizziness, nausea, or even euphoria when exposed to these frequencies. Could the aliens be using sound not just to communicate, but to elicit specific emotional or physical responses? The most enigmatic method of communication involves changes to the environment itself. Weather patterns, magnetic fields, and light displays have all been observed behaving unusually in areas associated with the signal. In one striking example, a region in northern Norway experienced an unexplained aurora borealis-like phenomenon, with vibrant colors and patterns not typical of natural northern lights. What made the event even more peculiar was its timing, coinciding exactly with the strongest burst of the alien signal detected so far. Elsewhere, researchers have documented shifts in magnetic fields, causing compasses to behave erratically. In South Africa, a sudden localized storm appeared over a desert region, defying meteorological predictions. Witnesses described lightning strikes, forming intricate patterns in the sand, resembling the geometric symbols linked to the signal. These occurrences challenge conventional explanations. Are these environmental changes deliberate, a means of capturing our attention, or are they unintended side effects of the aliens' efforts to reach out? Either way, they underscore the complexity of their communication methods and the difficulty of interpreting them. The diversity of these methods paints a picture of beings who think and communicate in ways fundamentally different from our own. Unlike humans, who rely primarily on language, the aliens appear to use a combination of sensory and environmental cues. This approach raises profound questions. Are they tailoring their communication to us, or are we simply witnessing fragments of a message that's beyond our comprehension? Human communication with other species offers a useful analogy. When interacting with dolphins, for instance, researchers use a mix of sound, gestures, and visual symbols to bridge the gap. Similarly, the aliens might be employing multiple methods to account for the diversity of human perception and cognition. Yet, this also introduces the risk of misinterpretation. Just as humans have misunderstood animal behaviors in the past, we may be projecting meaning onto phenomena that are unrelated or incidental. The challenge lies in distinguishing genuine communication from noise As humanity grapples with these mysteries, one question looms large. If these methods are their way of reaching out, how do we respond? Do we attempt to mimic their multifaceted approach, using symbols, sounds, and environmental signals to craft a reply? Or do we focus on one method, hoping it aligns with their understanding? The path forward is fraught with uncertainty, but one thing is clear. The aliens' efforts to communicate are as intricate and diverse as the cosmos itself. To understand them, we must expand our definition of communication, embracing the possibility that the answers we seek may lie not in words, but in the interplay of thought, sound, and light. The methods are there, the message is waiting, the next move is ours. Here's an expanded version of the script with an additional 500 words for a richer, more detailed narrative. The discovery of an alien signal marked an unprecedented moment in human history. Yet, while the initial excitement reverberated across the globe, the reality of deciphering the message quickly set in. Humanity was faced with an overwhelming challenge to decode a communication method crafted by an intelligence potentially millions of years ahead of our own. What followed was a monumental effort, blending science, technology, and creativity as humanity sought to unravel the meaning hidden within the signal. From the very beginning, the signal's mathematical underpinnings captivated researchers. Prime numbers, universal and fundamental, were the first clue. As the signal repeated its sequence, scientists identified variations that hinted at deeper layers of meaning. Patterns emerged, fractals, Fibonacci sequences, and even references to the golden ratio. It was as if the aliens had chosen mathematics as a bridge between species, a language not bound by culture or biology. Yet, interpreting these patterns proved far from straightforward. While mathematics is universal, its application depends on context. Were these numbers simply a demonstration of intelligence, or were they a code waiting to be cracked? Some theorized that the signal contained a primer, a key to unlocking a more complex message. Others speculated that the patterns were an invitation for collaboration, a challenge designed to test humanity's ingenuity. In one groundbreaking study, a team of cryptographers identified what appeared to be a temporal component within the patterns. They proposed that certain sequences might represent time intervals, perhaps pointing to specific celestial events or locations. While this theory sparked a wave of new research, the implications were staggering. If the aliens were referencing events across the galaxy, it suggested a level of astronomical knowledge far surpassing our own. Simultaneously, neuroscientists were grappling with another aspect of the mystery, the telepathic experiences reported by individuals worldwide. The consistency of these accounts, dreams of geometric patterns, auditory sensations of unearthly melodies, suggested a deliberate attempt at direct communication. But how could such experiences be triggered across vast distances, and what did they mean? Brain imaging studies revealed surprising results. Individuals who claimed to have experienced these phenomena showed unusual neural activity in regions associated with emotion, memory, and pattern recognition. It was as if their brains were responding to an external stimulus, one that bypassed traditional sensory pathways. This led some researchers to propose that the aliens were using a form of universal language, one rooted in shared neural responses rather than spoken words. Critics, however, cautioned against overinterpretation. While the neural patterns were intriguing, they could also result from a psychological phenomenon known as pareidolia, the human tendency to find patterns and meaning where none exist. Could humanity's desire to find significance in the unknown be clouding its judgment? Adding to the complexity, certain individuals reported vivid emotional responses to these experiences. Feelings of profound peace, awe, and even fear were common. Some researchers speculated that these emotions might be an intrinsic part of the communication process, acting as a universal bridge between species. Yet this hypothesis raised troubling questions. Were these signals truly intended for humans, or were they incidental? Could it be that the aliens' method of communication was so advanced that we were mistaking an accidental byproduct for a deliberate message? Recognizing the limits of human cognition, scientists turned to artificial intelligence for assistance. Advanced neural networks were deployed to analyze the signal's complex structure, searching for patterns that might elude human perception. AI proved invaluable in processing the vast amounts of data, identifying correlations and anomalies that hinted at deeper meaning. One AI model, trained on a diverse range of human languages and mathematical systems, suggested that the signal might contain a hybrid form of communication, part mathematical, part symbolic. It detected recurring motifs that resembled ideograms. Similar to ancient human scripts like hieroglyphs or kanji, these symbols, when mapped, formed sequences that hinted at a narrative, though their exact meaning remained elusive. In another breakthrough, an AI system managed to correlate portions of the signal with known physical constants, such as the speed of light and gravitational forces. This discovery led some to hypothesize that the aliens were sharing fundamental principles of their understanding of the universe. If true, this could represent a cosmic primer, a Rosetta Stone for deciphering their broader message. Despite these advances, AI had its limitations. While algorithms could identify patterns, interpretation required human insight. Was a particular motif a representation of an object, a concept, or something entirely abstract? The collaboration between humans and AI became a delicate dance, blending computational power with creative intuition. Progress was painstakingly slow, and setbacks were frequent. In one high-profile misstep, a prominent research team announced that they had decoded a portion of the signal, claiming it contained coordinates to a distant star system. Their findings, heralded as a breakthrough, were later debunked as a statistical artifact, an error caused by overanalyzing random noise within the data. These disappointments took a toll on morale. Some began to question whether humanity was equipped to handle the challenge. Was the message simply too advanced for our current level of understanding? Or worse, was it never meant for us in the first place? If the signal was an echo of alien communication aimed at another civilization, humanity might be attempting to interpret a conversation it was never invited to join. The question of whether the message was meant for humanity became a central point of contention. Some experts pointed to the signal's complexity as evidence of intent. This is not random noise, argued a leading astrophysicist. The precision and structure are undeniable. Whoever sent this message knew that someone would be listening. Others were more cautious. A philosopher specializing in extraterrestrial ethics warned against jumping to conclusions. We assume that intelligence must resemble our own, but that's a narrow perspective. The message could be a byproduct of technology we can't even fathom, a cosmic equivalent of static. Religious scholars added another layer to the debate, suggesting that the signal's ambiguity might be intentional. Perhaps the aliens are testing us, proposed one theologian. They may want to see how we respond to the unknown, whether we approach it with curiosity, fear, or aggression. These debates highlighted the profound uncertainty at the heart of the endeavor. Every expert had a theory, but none could claim definitive answers. The signal remained an enigma, its true nature tantalizingly out of reach. As weeks turned into months, the urgency to decode the message grew. The signal's persistence was both a blessing and a curse, a constant reminder of humanity's progress and its limitations. Each small breakthrough brought hope, but also the realization that much remained to be done. The stakes could not be higher. If the message was a warning, humanity needed to act before it was too late. If it was an invitation, a response might be expected. And if it was something entirely beyond human comprehension, it raised unsettling questions about our ability to communicate with other forms of intelligence. Despite the challenges, the effort to decode the signal continued. Scientists, linguists, and cryptographers worked tirelessly, driven by the belief that understanding the message could unlock a new chapter in humanity's story. Yet the clock was ticking. The longer the signal went undecoded, the greater the fear that an opportunity was slipping through our fingers. Every breakthrough brings us closer to understanding, but the road ahead remains uncertain. With each discovery, new questions arise, reminding us of the vast gulf that separates us from the beings behind the signal. Are we running out of time? Or is the true challenge not in decoding their message, but in learning to see the universe and ourselves in an entirely new way? The discovery of an alien signal reverberated far beyond scientific and governmental circles, igniting a cultural awakening that spanned every corner of the globe. As scientists worked tirelessly to decode the technical intricacies of the message, the rest of humanity began weaving their own interpretations guided by deeply rooted cultural beliefs, spiritual philosophies, and artistic creativity. The signal became not just a mystery of science, but a mirror reflecting humanity's diverse worldviews. The first to interpret the signal through a spiritual lens were religious leaders and communities. From temples and mosques to churches and synagogues, debates erupted over whether the signal was divine in origin. Some faith leaders claimed it was a sign from a higher power, a celestial test designed to challenge humanity's moral compass and unity. In Christian circles, interpretations varied. Some evangelists proclaimed the signal a fulfillment of biblical prophecy, linking it to verses in Revelation that spoke of signs in the heavens. This perspective gained traction among those already predisposed to seeing current events as harbingers of the end times. On the other hand, progressive theologians emphasize the signal as an opportunity for reflection, urging humanity to see it as a call for humility and stewardship of the earth. Islamic scholars found parallels in the Quran, particularly in verses referencing the vastness of creation and the existence of beings beyond human understanding. For them, the signal underscored humanity's shared responsibility as caretakers of Earth. In one interpretation, it was seen as an invitation to expand our understanding of the universe while remaining grounded in our ethical and spiritual principles. Hindu mystics viewed the signal as a manifestation of cosmic vibrations, aligning with the ancient concept of Nada Brahma, the universe as sound. They suggested that the message might be a harmonious call to reconnect with the universal rhythm. Similarly, Buddhist monks emphasized mindfulness and contemplation, urging humanity to approach the signal with calm curiosity rather than fear, seeing it as an opportunity to expand collective awareness. Yet, not all interpretations were hopeful. Apocalyptic warnings abounded, with some groups claiming the signal heralded the end of days. These interpretations, while extreme, gained traction among communities predisposed to viewing the unknown as a harbinger of doom. The signal, in this sense, became a canvas for humanity's deepest fears and aspirations, a lens through which we projected our anxieties about the future. As scientists analyzed the signal's patterns and sequences, artists began translating its abstract beauty into tangible forms. Across the globe, musicians composed symphonies inspired by the harmonic intervals embedded in the signal, blending alien frequencies with human instruments to create hauntingly beautiful compositions. One notable piece, titled Cosmic Resonance, featured a melody that mirrored the signal's prime number sequences. Its performance by a world-renowned orchestra in Vienna was broadcast globally, moving millions to tears and evoking a profound sense of connection with something far greater than themselves. Painters and sculptors, too, found inspiration in the signal. Geometric shapes described in telepathic dreams were replicated on canvases and in three-dimensional installations. An artist in Brazil created a massive mural depicting the interconnectedness of humanity and the cosmos, with the alien symbols woven seamlessly into the design. The mural, titled The Infinite Thread, became a pilgrimage site for those seeking meaning in the alien message. In Japan, a sculptor crafted a series of crystalline forms that refracted light in patterns reminiscent of the signal's fractal motifs. These installations, placed in public spaces, drew crowds who marveled at the interplay of light and shadow, seeing in them echoes of the mysterious cosmic message. Writers and filmmakers delved into speculative narratives, imagining the beings behind the message. Were they benevolent sages eager to share their knowledge, or were they watchers, silently observing humanity's response to their cosmic test? The stories ranged from utopian visions of interstellar alliances to dystopian warnings of alien conquest, each narrative a projection of humanity's hopes and fears. While the arts and religions explored the philosophical and emotional dimensions of the signal, cultural biases played a significant role in shaping interpretations. In regions with histories of colonization and exploitation, the signal was met with suspicion. Communities in South America and Africa, for instance, drew parallels to the arrival of European colonizers centuries ago. Leaders in these regions warned that any engagement with the aliens could mirror humanity's own history of conquest and subjugation, with humanity potentially playing the role of the conquered. Conversely, in cultures with traditions of celestial reverence, the signal was seen as an invitation. Indigenous groups in Australia and North America spoke of star beings referenced in their oral histories, suggesting that the message might be a long-awaited return of these ancient visitors. For them, the signal was not a threat, but a bridge, reconnecting humanity with its cosmic ancestry. In these interpretations, the message was not a warning, but an opportunity to rekindle a relationship with the universe. The media amplified these narratives, shaping public perceptions. Sensational headlines ranged from aliens plan Earth's invasion to signal proves humanity is not alone. Social media became a battleground for competing theories, with skeptics clashing against believers and conspiracy theorists weaving elaborate tales. The noise of public discourse often overshadowed the quiet, diligent work of scientists, but it also revealed the depth of humanity's fascination with the unknown. One of the most intriguing stories emerged from a remote tribe in the Amazon rainforest. Anthropologists working with the tribe reported that the elders claimed the symbols in the signal matched designs etched onto sacred stones, passed down through generations. These stones, according to tribal lore, were gifts from the Sky People, beings who visited Earth in ancient times. The tribe interpreted the signal as a confirmation of their oral traditions. They believed the Sky People were returning, not as conquerors, but as guides, offering wisdom to help humanity navigate its challenges. This narrative, though unprovable, captivated the global imagination. It suggested that the alien message might not be new, but a continuation of a dialogue that began long before recorded history. Further investigations revealed similar claims among other indigenous groups, from the Hopi of North America to the Dogon of Africa. These communities spoke of celestial ancestors who imparted knowledge of the stars, knowledge that modern science was only beginning to verify. Whether coincidental or connected, these stories added an ancient mystical dimension to the unfolding mystery. As interpretations of the signal multiplied, one truth became increasingly evident. The message was not just about the aliens, it was about us. Each interpretation, whether scientific, religious, or artistic, revealed more about humanity's collective psyche than about the beings behind the message. Our fears, hopes, biases, and creativity shaped the lens through which we viewed the signal, turning it into a mirror of our shared existence. The signal united humanity in ways that few events ever had. It transcended borders, ideologies, and languages, challenging us to confront our differences while embracing our shared curiosity. Yet, it also revealed our divisions, with competing narratives vying for dominance. In the end, The signal's meaning remained elusive. Yet, its impact on humanity was profound. It forced us to confront questions we had long avoided. Who are we as a species? What unites us and what divides us? And how do we choose to respond to the unknown? Perhaps the key lies not in understanding them, but in understanding ourselves. The signal has shown us that before we can decode the universe, we must first decode the myriad ways we interpret it. It is a challenge, not just of science, but of humanity's collective soul. A challenge to rise above our differences and embrace the wonder of the cosmos together. For months, the alien signal had captivated humanity. Its relentless rhythm, a puzzle that seemed just out of reach. Scientists, linguists, cryptographers, and artificial intelligence systems worked tirelessly. Each small breakthrough celebrated, but quickly eclipsed by the enormity of the challenge. The world watched with bated breath as progress trickled in until the moment came when everything changed. The breakthrough began in an unassuming laboratory at the European Center for Quantum Research. It was here that a team of physicists and computer scientists had been utilizing advanced quantum computing to analyze the signal. Quantum computing, with its unparalleled ability to process complex data, offered humanity a tool that matched the apparent sophistication of the alien message. After weeks of feeding the signal into the quantum algorithms, a pattern emerged, one that humans could finally understand. The announcement came during a hastily convened press conference, streamed live across the globe. Dr. Elena Torres, the lead researcher, stood before a packed room, her expression a mixture of triumph and apprehension. "Ladies and gentlemen," she began, her voice trembling slightly, "we have partially decoded the alien message. What we have found is extraordinary." Behind her, a large screen displayed the results, a series of coordinates mapped onto a star chart. The coordinates pointed to a specific location, a star system approximately 12 light years away, known as Epsilon Eridani. The system had long been a subject of interest to astronomers due to its proximity and potential for habitable planets. Dr. Torres explained the implications. The precision of these coordinates suggests intent. This is not a random anomaly. The message appears to be pointing us towards something, perhaps their origin, or perhaps a location of significance to them. We do not yet know. The room erupted with questions. Was this an invitation, a meeting point, or something else entirely? The partial decoding raised as many questions as it answered, but it was undeniable. Humanity was finally beginning to communicate with another intelligence. As the news spread, so did speculation. Experts weighed in on what the coordinates might signify. Some saw them as an invitation, a clear indication that the aliens wanted humanity to visit Epsilon Eridani. "This is the equivalent of a cosmic handshake," said one prominent astronomer. "They're saying, 'Read, here we are, come find us.'" Others were more cautious. "We must consider the possibility that this is a warning," argued a military strategist. The coordinates could be pointing to a threat, a star system under attack, or a danger that could spread to us. This interpretation gained traction among those already skeptical of alien intentions, fueling debates about how humanity should respond. Religious leaders offered their own interpretations. Some saw the coordinates as a divine test, a challenge to humanity's faith and unity. Others warned against pursuing the message, likening it to the forbidden fruit in the Garden of Eden, a temptation that could lead to humanity's downfall. Philosophers delved into the existential implications. If the coordinates pointed to the aliens' origin, what did that mean for humanity's understanding of itself? Were we merely one of countless civilizations in the cosmos? Or had we been chosen for a unique role in the universe's unfolding story? The decoded message, though fragmentary, was a mirror reflecting humanity's deepest hopes and fears. The partial decoding also provided insights into the beings behind the message. The precision and complexity of the coordinates suggested an intelligence that valued clarity and logic. The choice of a nearby star system indicated a desire for accessibility, as if the aliens were considering humanity's current technological limitations. Yet, the simplicity of the coordinates raised questions. Why choose such a straightforward method of communication for this part of the message? Some experts theorized that the aliens might be testing humanity's ability to interpret and act on the information. Others speculated that the coordinates were merely the first layer of a more complex message, a starting point to guide us toward deeper understanding. This breakthrough also reignited debates about the aliens' intentions. Were they benevolent explorers eager to share knowledge and foster connection, or were they pragmatic beings, indifferent to humanity's survival, but interested in our planet's resources or strategic value? The coordinates were both a gift and a challenge, a glimpse into the minds of beings far beyond our comprehension. The decoded coordinates sparked a flurry of activity on Earth. Space agencies, governments, and private corporations began planning missions to Epsilon Eridani. The prospect of interstellar travel, once a distant dream, now became an urgent priority. Engineers accelerated their work on advanced propulsion systems, while astrophysicists mapped potential trajectories to the star system. At the same time, debates over the ethical implications of responding to the message intensified. Should humanity send a probe or a crewed mission? What precautions should be taken to avoid provoking or endangering the aliens or ourselves? And perhaps most importantly, did humanity have the right to pursue this contact without fully understanding the consequences? The United Nations convened an emergency session to address these questions, establishing a global task force to coordinate humanity's response. The task force included representatives from scientific, political, and cultural institutions, reflecting the multifaceted nature of the challenge. Despite disagreements, there was a shared recognition that the decoded message represented a pivotal moment in human history, a moment that demanded collective action. Even as humanity celebrated the breakthrough, the message's deeper mysteries remained unsolved. Why had the aliens chosen to send this message now? What else might the signal contain? And most intriguingly, what awaited us at Epsilon Eridani? Efforts to decode the rest of the signal continued, with researchers employing increasingly sophisticated tools to unravel its layers. Some scientists believed the coordinates were only the beginning, a primer meant to guide humanity toward a larger revelation. Others feared that the rest of the message might contain information humanity was not ready to confront. Meanwhile, public fascination with the signal reached new heights. Citizens around the world held vigils, gazing up at the night sky and wondering what lay beyond. Artists and storytellers continued to explore the implications of the breakthrough, creating works that captured the awe and uncertainty of this moment in time. As we decode one part of the message, the enormity of what lies ahead becomes clear. The coordinates are not just a destination, they are a question, one that challenges us to consider who we are and what we stand for. We are no longer alone in the universe, but with this knowledge comes responsibility. The message is clear, the aliens are trying to communicate, but as we decipher one part of their message, a new question emerges. What does the rest of it mean? The thrill of receiving a message from an alien civilization is tempered by a sobering reality, the profound risk of miscommunication. As humanity edges closer to deciphering the alien message, experts warn that even the slightest misunderstanding could have catastrophic consequences. Communication, after all, is as much an art as it is a science, and history offers chilling reminders of the conflicts that can arise from misinterpreted intentions. Throughout history, miscommunication has often led to disastrous consequences. The 19th century Opium Wars, for example, stemmed from cultural misunderstandings and conflicting interests between Britain and China. Diplomatic overtures were misconstrued, and what might have been resolved peacefully escalated into violent conflict. Closer to home, the Cold War provides stark examples of how misinterpreted signals nearly led to nuclear disaster. In 1983, Soviet radar systems falsely detected incoming U.S. missiles. A single officer's decision to trust his instincts over the flawed data prevented retaliation and a potential nuclear war. These examples underscore how high the stakes can be when communication fails, especially when dealing with entities whose intentions are not fully understood. Now, humanity faces a challenge of unprecedented complexity. If we misunderstand the alien's message, the consequences could far surpass anything experienced in our history. Unlike human adversaries who share cultural and biological commonalities, the aliens may operate under entirely different frameworks of thought, emotion, and communication. The risks of miscommunication with an alien civilization are daunting. Experts have outlined several potential scenarios, each more chilling than the last. What if, in our attempts to respond, we inadvertently offend the aliens? Cultural anthropologists warn that human communication is rife with unintentional slights. Even within our species, gestures and words can carry vastly different meanings across cultures. A friendly smile in one society might be perceived as aggression in another. Now, imagine the gulf between human and alien cultures. A response that seems logical or benign to us might be interpreted as hostile or dismissive. What if the aliens view silence as arrogance, or a mathematical reply as a declaration of war? Without a clear understanding of their intentions and norms, every response is a gamble. Another dire possibility is that the alien's message is a warning, one we fail to comprehend. It might be a cautionary tale about a cosmic threat, such as an approaching asteroid, a rogue black hole, or even another hostile civilization. If humanity misinterprets the message as benign or irrelevant, we could miss an opportunity to save ourselves. Astrophysicists point out that the universe is filled with dangers we have yet to fully understand. If the aliens are more advanced, they might be aware of risks that humanity cannot yet detect. Failure to heed their warning could have dire consequences for our planet and species. Perhaps the most haunting scenario is one where both sides act in good faith but fail to understand each other. The aliens might interpret our caution as hostility, or we might mistake their patience for disinterest. These misunderstandings could escalate tensions, leading to a breakdown in communication, or worse, conflict. Diplomatic experts emphasize that first impressions are critical. If humanity's initial response is perceived as hostile or dismissive, it could shape the aliens' perception of us for generations, or even millennia. To navigate these risks, humanity has turned to experts in diplomacy, military strategy, and cross-cultural communication. Their insights offer both guidance and a stark reminder of the challenges ahead. Ambassador James Whitaker, a veteran of high-stakes negotiations, compares first contact to establishing relations with an entirely new nation, one with no shared history or cultural reference points. The key, he says, is humility. We must approach this with an open mind, acknowledging that we know almost nothing about their values, intentions, or ways of thinking. Whitaker stresses the importance of collaboration. No single nation or organization should take the lead. This must be a global effort, reflecting humanity's diversity and unity. If we present ourselves as a fractured species, it will undermine our credibility. General Maria Rodriguez, a senior advisor on interstellar defense, takes a more cautious stance. While we hope for peaceful contact, we cannot ignore the possibility of hostility, she says. Our response must be measured, neither overly aggressive nor naively trusting. Rodriguez outlines contingency plans for various scenarios, including the possibility of needing to defend Earth. However, she emphasizes restraint, warning against actions that could provoke unnecessary conflict. The goal is deterrence, not escalation, she explains. We must demonstrate that we are capable of defending ourselves without appearing to pose a threat. Dr. Priya Anand, an anthropologist specializing in cross-cultural communication, highlights the importance of understanding the aliens' perspective. We must assume that their communication methods and cultural norms are radically different from our own, she says. Our greatest challenge will be to interpret their message without projecting our biases onto it. Anand advocates for a multidisciplinary approach, combining insights from linguistics, neuroscience, and even art. Communication is not just about words or symbols, she notes. It's about finding common ground, whether through shared experiences, emotions, or universal principles like mathematics. Artificial intelligence has emerged as a crucial tool in navigating the complexities of alien communication. Advanced AI systems are not only helping to decode the signal, but also simulating potential responses to predict how they might be interpreted. These simulations allow scientists to test various scenarios, identifying responses that minimize the risk of miscommunication. Yet, even AI has its limitations. Algorithms are only as good as the data they're trained on, and in this case, there is no precedent. AI can analyze patterns and probabilities, but it cannot account for the unknown variables inherent in dealing with an alien intelligence. Human judgment remains essential, but the combination of AI and human intuition offers humanity its best chance of success. As humanity prepares to respond to the alien message, it must strike a delicate balance between caution and curiosity. Too much caution could result in missed opportunities, while too little could lead to catastrophic misunderstandings. The stakes could not be higher. The message represents both a promise and a peril, a chance to expand our understanding of the universe, but also a reminder of the fragility of communication. Public debates reflect this tension. Some advocate for immediate, bold action, arguing that humanity must seize the opportunity to make its mark on the cosmos. Others urge patience, warning that rushing into contact could have unforeseen consequences. The question remains, how do we present ourselves to a civilization that may be as different from us as we are from ants? In the dance of communication, one wrong step could mean the end. As humanity stands on the brink of a cosmic dialogue, it must tread carefully, balancing its aspirations with the weight of its responsibility. The risks of miscommunication are immense, but so too is the potential for understanding. Our response will define not only our relationship with the aliens, but also our legacy as a species. The stakes are nothing less than the future of humanity itself. Humanity's journey in decoding the alien signal has been as transformative as the message itself. Over months of effort, we have witnessed a profound shift in our understanding of the cosmos, and perhaps even more significantly, of ourselves. The breakthroughs, the setbacks, and the unanswered questions have pushed us to the very edge of our knowledge, forcing us to confront our limitations, while inspiring us to dream bigger than ever before. Now, as the moment of decision looms, the question becomes, what comes next? The journey began with a pulse, a rhythmic signal from the stars that defied natural explanation. From the first detection of prime number sequences to the discovery of star system coordinates, every revelation brought humanity closer to understanding the aliens' intent. Along the way, we learned not only about their methods, but also about the vastness of their intellect. The signal's complexity revealed an intelligence that values precision, creativity, and perhaps even cooperation. But the journey has been fraught with challenges. The decoding process exposed the limits of our technology and understanding. Every breakthrough seemed to raise more questions than answers. What was the purpose of the coordinates? Were they an invitation, a warning, or something beyond human comprehension? And why now? Why had the aliens chosen this moment in history to reach out? Yet these challenges also united humanity in ways few events ever have. The signal transcended borders, ideologies, and cultures, inspiring collaboration on an unprecedented scale. Scientists from rival nations set aside their differences to work together, Artists and thinkers from diverse backgrounds explored the message's meaning, enriching the global conversation. In this sense, the alien signal became not just a puzzle to be solved, but a catalyst for humanity's evolution. The breakthroughs were as monumental as they were unexpected. Quantum computing unveiled the coordinates embedded within the signal, pointing to the Epsilon Eridani star system. AI analysis revealed patterns that hinted at a hybrid form of communication, blending mathematics, symbolism, and emotion. Neuroscientific studies of telepathic experiences suggested that the aliens might be reaching out directly to human consciousness, bypassing the limitations of language. These discoveries taught us as much about ourselves as they did about the aliens. We learned that communication is more than the exchange of information. It is a reflection of shared understanding, empathy, and intention. The signal forced us to confront our own biases, assumptions, and fears, challenging us to think beyond the constraints of human experience. But the lessons did not come easily. Setbacks were frequent and often disheartening. Misinterpretations led to false hopes and premature announcements. Internal divisions over how to respond to the message exposed humanity's fragility and discord. Yet, even in failure, there was progress. Each misstep became a stepping stone, guiding us toward a deeper understanding of what it means to communicate across the vast gulf of space and species. As humanity stands on the brink of a decision, the next steps remain uncertain. The decoded coordinates represent both an opportunity and a challenge. Should humanity send a response? If so, what form should it take? And perhaps most importantly, are we ready for what might come next? The first question is whether humanity should respond at all. While many advocate for direct engagement, others urge caution. What if our response is misinterpreted? What if we reveal too much about ourselves and invite unintended consequences? These concerns are valid, but so too is the argument that silence might be misconstrued as indifference or even hostility. If humanity chooses to respond, the method of communication becomes critical. Experts propose a carefully crafted message, blending mathematical constants, visual symbols, and emotional cues. This approach mirrors the aliens' multifaceted methods, increasing the likelihood of mutual understanding. Yet, crafting such a message will require unprecedented global collaboration, as well as the humility to acknowledge our own limitations. The stakes could not be higher. Failure to respond, or worse, responding poorly, could have far-reaching consequences. If the aliens interpret our silence as disinterest, they might withdraw, leaving humanity forever in the dark about their intentions. If they misinterpret our response as aggression, the results could be catastrophic, but the greatest risk might lie in our own disunity. The signal has shown us the potential for collaboration, but it has also exposed the divisions that plague our species. If humanity cannot come together to present a unified response, we risk undermining our credibility in the eyes of the aliens, and perhaps even in our own eyes. Failure, while daunting, is a possibility we must consider. If we are unable to decode the full message or respond effectively, what then? The consequences of failure depend on the aliens' intentions that remain shrouded in mystery. If the message is an invitation, failure to respond might mean missing out on the opportunity of a lifetime, the chance to establish contact with an advanced civilization. If it is a warning, failure could leave us vulnerable to cosmic threats we cannot yet comprehend. And if the message is something entirely beyond our understanding, failure might simply mean continuing to gaze into the void, wondering what might have been. Yet, even in failure, there is hope. The journey itself has transformed humanity, forcing us to confront questions of identity, purpose, and unity. The knowledge we have gained, the collaborations we have forged, and the inspiration we have drawn from the signal are achievements in their own right. Perhaps the alien's greatest gift is not the message itself, but the way it has challenged us to grow As we stand on the threshold of a new chapter in human history, the message is clear. They want to talk. The question is, are we ready to listen? This is not just a test of our intellect or technology. It is a test of our character, our unity, and our capacity for understanding. The universe has spoken. Now, it is up to us to find the courage to answer. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and share it. If you have any suggestions or feedback, don't forget to let us know in the comments below. Your support means the world to us, and we bring you new videos every day. So, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. See you tomorrow with another new radio broadcast. Thank you.